Okay, so that is the most important thing that is in order to success in the 2B realm, we need to just put the 5G and the network connections further into the core, which is the production domain or the operation domain. And here you see that the IT network, and they have that office network and connecting a lot of those production systems and the network between people. But the one more thing which is more important and which is lying in the core, which is a production network. So in order to achieve that, ZT tried very hard just to making that all happen. And we have a different scale of that network, like the outdoor field network, very gigantic port or those open pits, those kind of typical scenarios. And also we have that indoor factories, like steel factories or manufacturing workshops, which with a lot of space and a lot of machineries. And then also we have a smaller granularity, which is that for the production line, we have very accurate those elastic network and solutions to making the production line more efficient. And different level of that production field network have different requirements. Like the upper one, they are gigantic and they need very vast areas full coverage, and also they have 2C and 2B coexisting requirement. So the network, most of that are shared with the 2C network. So it's very unique for those outdoor systems. And for that indoors, we need a fully connected factories and also a lot of automation or a lot of tools to improve the efficiencies. And also they have to have some flexibility capability to making live or dynamic adjustment to those production quotas. So it's very different requirements. And the lower one, which is the production level, which is a very small granularity level, they need that closed loop. There's some monitoring and just the feedback systems, which is totally different from the rest of that. And also they need to be elastic. They can be elastically just scale in and scale out based on the production requirements. So it's a very unique and challenging systems, and ZT, we try our best to tackle these problems. And we think that especially we look closer that from the factory level, that is only the IT domain. If we come to those production floor or workshop level or production line, we go into the operation domain. So that sector right now has a lot of challenges. First of all, we think that's most important. That is the cloud and communication and application totally united into one solution or one set of equipments or hardware and software seemingly working with each other. A kind of challenge. The first one right now it's scattered, that's separated by different vendors, and we're trying to bridge the gap. And the second one is the performance guarantee, especially for those jitter and latency guarantees, and which is what's the vendor and a mobile operator are good at. And the third one, which we found the most, which is that the very complex network management and optimization, which is a headache for the verticals. So we try our best to tackle that three challenges. So first of all, that is on the right, we can see that we have that cloud communication applications all combined into one-stop solution by a lot of the technologies. Because ZTE as a vendor, we have the cloud infrastructure besides the network infrastructure. We have like the Nebula, which is the cloud foundations, and also communication, which we are good at. And we have the core network, different scale and stuff. And also we are adding the computing capability to the base station. We have node engine. We have all of that figured out so that we have the solution which can combine those cloud communication application into one set of solution. And another thing which is related to the performance guarantee, that is the TSN, deterministic assurance, which is I'll try our best to just on top of that URLC, we can also add that TSN to have that control jitter, just ultra low jitter. So which with ultra low latency and reliability plus that ultra low jitter, we have a very solid foundation for those vertical network. And we also provide that we try our best to open our capability to the verticals IT department. We have that OEM part of those system can be open to that. They can be linked or APIs open, and they can have a further R&D with your IT team. So they can have a very streamlined networking at the same time, very user-friendly, that API to work with, to integrate with their own processes, because each individual verticals, they have their own requirements. And in order to help them to achieve their digitalization, they have to just design and learn from those different failures or those success, build on all of that. So it's just a kind of learn and grow process. We have those capability open to our partners. Okay, and the next one is we just trying to a different perspective, which is like from the cloud edge and the end, that that kind of perspective, because in the cloud we have, as I mentioned before, we have that core, and we have a different kind of tiers of gear, like that. The right one, the big rack, which is the ultimate big core network infrastructure, and we have that ultra light 5G core and standard 5G core, which is can be very flexible. And in the edge, which is we put that computing capability to the BBU directly with one special designed VGC board, computing board. And actually we have 3 versions. One is for general purpose, like a CPU enhanced. Another one is GPU enhanced. The third one, which is storage enhanced board. So just a 3 type of board can expand those BBU's computation and that GPU acceleration and storage capabilities, and they can work as a group and cascading and stuff, which is powerful. Those building block, and which can expand according to different requirements. And we also have something like a base station which can move around. We call that nomadic, nomad. So which is our in the edge work as that. And also in the end, we need a lot of gateways, like the TSN gateways, and also some vertical IoT gateway and stuff. We have all of those prepared. And underneath that, we have that, as I mentioned before, Digital Nebula, which is our cloud platform foundations, like a PaaS platform as a services, and which with all of that we can do those R&D and integration services and enabler technology, all of that combined. On the just the top layer, that's some of those applications we tackle first, like IoT data connections, machine vision, PLC or VPLC, which is just a virtualization PLC running in our edge. There are no engine in the middle. That one, that like something like that, and remote control and geofence, all of that, and surveillance camera, that enhancement stuff. So these are our architecture of that. And with that cloud edge and the end perspective. So see, this is just this part. And just to talk about that quality and network guarantee, which is including emphasize that how we achieve that ultra low latency and low jitter and ultra reliabilities, and we have a lot of technology to make that happen. Like especially like this one, wireless dual TX, which is just a multiple that link and can be selectively just replicated and selected, which give just multi-link and give extra reliability. And also that TSM is introduced. We have that multiple flows and making that TSM capabilities embedded into our gateways. And last one is on the right is that the video surveillance or video related service can benefit from that. Is the iframe collision avoidance, which can identify the iframe and just to actively just to try to avoid the collision of that iframe, making the video services more smooth and more higher performance. Okay, and here we have two use cases. One is happening inside ourselves, which is with ZTE's Nanjing Binjiang factories. We're using 5G to produce 5G, and in there we have that node engine BBU deployed, and also some Q cells as a RAM, and a lot of those gateways deployed. With that, we verified most important thing, that is the cloud communication and application integration into one solution. Is that possible? And we verify that very thoroughly. We put it into the number one. And also we verify the quality of that TSM and that URLC of that capabilities, and also that node engine, that client, that how we deploy the things, that we have that pre-configured, pre-designed system in a very short period of time on site to deploy that. And also that PLC control, that some of the application are very thoroughly tested. This is one story which happened inside of ZTE. And we also worked with one big logistic center, which is Shandong Liubeiyan Information Technology Company, which is a huge logistic sorting center. In there, they have a lot of packaging need to be sorted every single day, and in there we are using pretty just first of all, we turn their wireless network into totally just a 5G, and also that we help them to build a lot of those VPLCs. Right now, the PLCs that the gateways are running on our and on our node engine, our BBU, directly with virtualization technologies. And also we fully integrate it into their processes. They have that single piece sort separation and multiple that the matrix sorting and separation, and also scanning. They need to scan the six sides of the packaging, the packages, and also the conveyor belt, those speed, and also those machine vision to monitor all of those packages and making that active. Those maneuver of those packages, we deeply integrated into their operation domains, and totally cloudify their PLCs, and also turn their totally wireline that network into 5G. So it's a very, very good example that how important to deeply integrate the system into the operation domain and learn from each other and help them to build the digital transformation. So I think this is only the starting point. This is as a Nokia mentioned, this is somewhere between the phase 1 and phase 2. So we totally agree with that. But this is something that is really just happening with real verticals, real partners together, designing together, trust each other, and opening each other's capabilities, and build on with each other's platform, making that network more open than ever before, because that node engine and our cloud is just one big step for those open network. So it's I think just people talking about that open network more emphasize about those hardware open, like Open RAM or VRAM. But here you see this is another part of the openness. We open those application capabilities, like more of those platform capabilities and that application software capabilities openness. So I think this is ZT did something small, but probably just a bigger step for the whole industry. Okay, so this is my sharing.